Alright guys, this is a Longplay review for The Curse of Sherwood on the AMSTRAD CPC, released by Mastertronic in 1987. And yep, this is a budget game and quite a beloved one by quite a few people. This often comes up being requested on my AM streams, and well, this Longplay vid is dedicated to one of those people, 24/7 Music, who is the guy who provides all the wonderful synthwave background music you hear on my videos and live streams. So do me a favour guys, and check out his Bandcamp page, follow him there, maybe buy a few tracks or even a CD. These great artists need your support. So 24/7, thank you very much. The vids and the streams would not be the same without them. This one's for you, sir. Anyway, let's get this started up and I'll go through the story from the manual. Now, The Curse of Sherwood. Sherwood Forest has been taken over by the evil and ruthless cult of Sagalia. Robin and his men fight on bravely, but the odds are stacked against them. You, as Friar Tuck, are their only chance of survival. Solve the clues hidden in the rhyme and destroy the evil force. So we're given a rhyme in the manual. So as we start off this fun little adventure game, let's go through the rhyme very quickly, because this gives us clues as to what we need to do in the game. And it goes thusly: for fire protection you must amass werewolf fangs and a scrying glass, then travel through the misty wood to take them to the Witch of Good. From the man of solitary means, a parchment guide is what you need. Without it you may go astray, and in the forest lose your way. To buy the means to safety walk, a fiery monster you must stalk. He holds the price of precious metal, conveyed to the hermit without much fettle. A silver cross must be found before you feel safe and sound. On the pentagon it must be dropped, and the portal of evil will be stopped. I think it meant to say pentagram. I think the translation from the manual I've got here is wrong. There's a pentagram. So I've just killed this person there, and there's now an object. And we've just picked up the club. We're going to need this club to bash down a door in a little bit. Before that, we picked up the shield. You can see that as an object in our inventory at the top there, next to the club. Apparently the shield is useless. But however, I picked it up anyway. And, well, we can drop it later on. So, as we go right to this house here, there's a witch inside. Or maybe it's Mystic Meg, because she's carrying a crystal ball, which is what the rhyme refers to as the scrying glass. And we're going to use that later on. Now, to the south of us is a teleporter. You need to go into it and shoot the door on the wall that we get teleported to. First, I'm going to clear the screen of all enemies. And there's the teleporter. Whee! Nice little effect there. As long as you've got the club will smash down that door. Oops, I'm a bit in trouble getting through there. There we go. Now, just down here, there's a witch, I believe, and we need to pick up the cross there and get the silver dagger. And as you can see there, you can just switch between the weapons on the screen by just walking over them. So the silver cross is needed to complete the game. It's like the last final object. You need to put that on the pentagram. And the curse of Sherwood will be lifted. Right. So now we've used the teleport to get back. We now need to go back to where we sort of started the game and keep going left and kill a monster for another object. We're going to leave the sword and keep the silver dagger. So as you can see, guys, it's a single screen sort of adventure game and quite a big playing area there to roam around in. The graphics are very, very basic, but they kind of look okay. It's got a kind of charm to it, and it suits like the Nottingham Sherwood Forest kind of atmosphere quite well. It's a bit strange how you're not playing as Robin Hood though, and instead you're playing as Friar Tuck. Not quite sure why the author chose Friar Tuck. It would have made a more inviting character to play as. Maybe there was too many Robin Hood games from like Codemasters and stuff. I can't think of many others. Anyway, these skeletons are a bit of a pain in the bum. basically it's almost like you need to get like a headshot to kill them. Or it's like you hit them on the chin with a dagger. Don't be afraid to exit the screen though if you're getting in a bit of a pickle. And there we go. Now we need to kill this monster here. Apparently that's a werewolf, guys. That goofy red monster is a werewolf, and we picked up the teeth. And obviously we now got we already had 3 objects, so the shield got dropped there, and we don't need it. So we're going to see the good witch here, and she'll give us a potion bottle, which will protect you from fire monsters in the swamp and just after the swamp, in exchange for the crystal ball and the werewolf teeth. So, I mean, these clues are in the rhyme in the manual, so if you get stuck, go and read the rhyme in the manual. It's literally the first verse of the rhyme, actually. For fire protection, you must amass werewolf fangs and a scrying glass. And it says take them to the Witch of Good. Right, I've just picked up an ice wand there, which is a new weapon. We will need that to freeze a river and turn it to ice, so we can actually cross the river. It's actually coming up very shortly. There's a crossbow there. Leave that for now, because we need to use the ice wand here. And the river turns to ice, and we can now actually walk over it. Just going to destroy these enemies and then go back and get the crossbow. And that'll be like your final sort of weapon in the game. There it is. Now we need to go to the far right of this area here. And there's like a little red bag of money, which is being guarded by a fire-breathing dragon. There he is. There's the dragon. Or maybe some kind of demon. It takes a few hits to kill, and there you go. We've got the red bag. Oh, it's because that was the last item in the inventory. It's dropped it, so now we go. Okay, so the inventory management is kind of non-existent. Just keep walking over the items until you've got the 3 you want in your inventory. If there's more, if you've got 4 on a screen or there's a missing item there. Anyway, sound effects pretty okay. Very, very limited though. No music sadly, and very, very bare bones presentation and all that. Killed this ogre here to get a key for the door that's locked ahead of you. Can be quite awkward depending on where he spawns when you enter this area. Now you don't need to carry the key anymore, so just keep swapping around the items until you drop the key, and make sure you've got the red bag of money, the potion bottle and the cross. In this room, in this hut here, go in there and speak to the old man. He will take the money from you and will give you a map in return. Now this is the map to the quite legendary swamps in this game. Most people hate the swamps, but if you've got the map, it's actually quite easy to work your way around. Just be very, very careful and keep referring to the map. As you can see, there's a sign for the swamp just there. Let's talk about the other versions of the game very quickly. So this appeared on the ZX Spectrum and the Commodore 64. Now the Specky manages to squeeze a few more colours on the screen. Not that you'd hardly notice, but the main sprite is all in white. And the sound effects are pretty much the same, but on the beeper. So not as good sound effects. And there you go. I'm just following the map there. I start at the bottom right of the map there and just follow the arrows, and it will roughly show where the objects are. So those fire creatures don't harm us because we've got that potion bottle from the witch. So I'm just being very careful here. So we're talking about the Specky version. The title screen doesn't have the animated characters like the Amstrad version does, but we're really nitpicking there. Basically, they're identical, apart from very minor differences. And, well, with the Commodore 64... well, we're playing spot the difference here too. Graphics-wise, it's the same as the Specky, with a few more colours than the CPC, just in more pastel-y shades. Oh, you do need to kill these birds here. They will harm you. But the main sprite, again, is all in white and not coloured like the Amstrad one. Sound effects are better than the Specky, but on a par with the CPCs. Actually, I kind of prefer the CPC sounds here, actually, to the SID chip ones, but just preference. The main difference, though, is that it plays slightly faster than the other two. So, arguably, by a cat's whisker, the Commodore 64 version is probably the best one to get, but there's so little in it. This was reviewed in the June 1987 issue 21 of Amstrad Action magazine. I like to find the magazine review scores at the time and tell you guys. And the reviewer quite liked it, stating, "It has given me many hours of pleasure. It is easy to get into, yet difficult to get out of." However, despite that, gave it an overall score of 68%. With graphics 65%, sonics 39%, grab factor 60%, and staying power 65%. Oh, by the way, these creatures here, these bugs or whatever, can kill you, and you can't kill them with your weapon, so they're just best avoided. And there we go, we've made it out of the swamp by carefully following the map. I took great care doing it there, because going slightly too far and you will sink into the swamp and die. Of course, got 3 lives there. As for my review, as we get very close to the end of the game, okay, this is a nice little budget game. It's pretty simple to pick up and get into, and it's not without its charm. It's not the greatest game in the world, nor one of the best budget games, but hey, you would have been too upset spending £2 of your pocket money on this at the time. With all that in context, and it being 1987 when this came out, I think I'll agree with Amstrad Action magazine, and I'll give this a 6.5 out of 10. But I know this is beloved by many people. They have very, very fond memories of the game, especially the cool box art as well we saw at the start of the video, even though it doesn't actually show Robin Hood or Friar Tuck on it. Anyway, so that is the end of the game, just north of us there, but I thought we'd just clear this screen of evil birds. And as we enter the screen, we want to fight the monster here and drop the cross on the pentagram. And there you go. And there you go. Congratulations, you have closed the portal of evil. And that's the end of the Ruthless Cult of Sagalia. So there you go, guys. That was The Curse of Sherwood, a fun little budget game, especially if you like your adventuring, puzzling, and maybe a little bit of shooting. Not bad for $1.99 on budget, and a 6.5 out of 10 from me. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you again to 24/7 Music. Goodbye.
So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please click a like below, leave a comment, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And over that way, there's another video for you to check out. Xyphoe, out.